I'd like to bring this to your attention, especially if you live in Scotland, and even more so if you have an interest in shooting, firearms, or air guns, or anything of that nature. Um, as some of you may be aware, we require a licence to own an air gun in Scotland, that being an air rifle of less than 12 foot pounds and an air pistol of less than 6 foot pounds. Anything else requires a firearm certificate. This does not apply to England and Wales, where air guns are still free to purchase by anyone over 18. The reason for this licensing scheme is 10 years ago, Mark Bonney, a local junkie in Glasgow, shot a 2-year-old boy, Andrew Morton, dead, shot him in the head with a pellet and killed him instantly. Ever since then, the Scottish Government has been working to license air guns. Fast forward to 10 years later, we require a licence. This came into force about 7 years ago. So for about 7 years now, air guns have required a licence in Scotland. And the reason I'm telling you all this is, if you look here, this dog was shot in Dunfermline. This was recent. This was the last couple of weeks. In fact, if I just click that X there, I'll see the 10th of February, and that is 2021. That is this year. That was just a few weeks ago. I'm not going to show you the article. If you want to do that, you could do it yourself. But I'd just like to show you here. It does say that the dog was found abandoned next to the A823 after being shot in the face with a pellet. And there you can see the awful pictures that I'm sure will be upsetting a lot of people. You can see there the dog has been shot in the face with an airgun pellet, probably an air rifle. I doubt you'd be able to do that with an air pistol. My bloody adverts. My entire point being though, that to me just goes to show that the licence system has actually failed in its primary purpose. The point of the law was to stop things like this, and clearly it didn't stop. Whoever this horrible person is, it didn't stop them from attacking this defenceless dog. I mean, this is a terrible thing to do, but the law did not, excuse me, my phone's dying, it did not prevent this man from, and he hasn't been found, by the way, nobody yet knows who did it, he's not been caught. It didn't stop him from committing this terrible crime. However, people who used air guns in a safe and responsible manner, such as myself, who used to possess air guns, I don't actually have a certificate, so I don't have any air guns. I sold mine. But people like me who use them responsibly for collecting, target shooting and that sort of thing were collectively punished for the actions of Mark Bonney. And now 7 years later, idiots like this are still continuing to commit horrible crimes with air guns. Now, I would also like to bring it to your attention that during the period where air guns were being licensed, there was also an amnesty. They also estimated around 500,000, that's 500,000 air guns at the time. In fact, this was actually a few years before they required them to be licensed. But they estimated 500,000 air guns to be in circulation in Scotland. When it came to the amnesty and the licensing period, only about 40 to 45,000 were accounted for. And by accounted for, I assume that means either either handed into the police for destruction, or they were licensed. That leaves the vast majority of them out there. This isn't the only incident where someone has used an air gun in this manner since the licensing scheme. I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find numerous occasions where someone has misused an air gun in Scotland post-licensing scheme in this manner. Obviously it's absolutely terrible, but it just goes to show you that these laws absolutely are not fit for purpose. They absolutely do not work. This horrible person has shot a dog in the face. What's the point in having a licensing system like this if the very people that it was designed to stop doing such horrible crimes are still doing these horrible crimes? Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching, and of course let me know your thoughts in the comments.